Okay, we are going to begin part 2 of the story of Shimshon. This is where things really get exciting and become to get very complicated as well. Let's take a look. Vayered Shimshon Timnata, Vayarisha Timnata mibinot Plishtim. And Shimshon went to the south, and he sees a woman from the daughters of the Plishtim. Now we know the Plishtim were the enemy of the Jewish people, and they were not Jewish. And Shimshon apparently sees someone from Binot Plishtim, from the daughters of Plishtim, and he wants to marry her. Vayal vayakei laviv ulimo. Comes back to Israel, and he tells his parents. Can you imagine? A person comes home and tells their parents the news. Mom, Dad, I'm getting married. And the parents are so excited. And their student who is studying yeshiva for such a long time, we're getting married. Okay, who is it? And he explains it's a non-Jewish lady from the Binot Plishtim. So you can imagine Shimshon's parents were shocked. The father and mother said to Shimshon, the rabbis explained to us that he was going to wait for her to convert, but the explanation that he tells his parents first say to him, "Listen, you can't find someone from the Jewish people," and Shimshon says, "This lady is the right one for me." But now Pasuk Daled is a very important pasuk. The Navi tells us directly a very important thing. It tells us Ve'aviv imo layadu. Shimshon's father and mother did not know ki mehashem he, that this was from Hashem. Hashem wanted Shimshon to marry a woman from Plishtim. Why? Ki to'anu mivaket Plishtim v'yitem Plishtim moshel v'Yisrael. This was how he intended for Shimshon to attack the Plishtim. By marrying into the Plishtim, he'd be able to attack them. And now we have one of the most famous imageries in all of Sefer Shoftim, the fight between Shimshon and the lion. Here's a picture on the cover of Me'am Loes, the Navi commentary of Me'am Loes. Here you have a picture of Shimshon conquering the lion. So it says that Shimshon was a lion was waiting there to attack him, and a lion attacked Shimshon. Vatitzlach alav ruach Hashem vayishaseu kishasah gidi, u'mu'ama ein biyado v'lo yigid la'aviv limo et asher asa. And the Navi shows us here how powerful, how strong Shimshon was, that he was able to take apart the lion like a lamb, and he had nothing in his hand. With his bare hands, he was able to defeat the lion. Now, there's a lot of symbolism here as to why Hashem sent the lion and why Shimshon was able to attack him. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll save that for class. And again, they went to speak to this woman, and again, he was very impressed by her. He came back a year later to marry her. And then he went to look at the lion, the dead lion that he killed. There was no road service that took care of the dead lion. It was still lying there dead. Inside the lion was a honeycomb, a purely clean honeycomb. He took out the honeycomb, and apparently it was clean. It was miraculously in there. He took it out. He ate from it. He gave it to his parents. They ate from it. And he never told his parents where he got it from. Once again, there's a lot of significance here, a lot of symbolism here. Why is Shimshon finding, why did Hashem make it that he found a honeycomb waiting for him in the dead lion? What was Hashem's message there? We'll talk about that in class. So they were getting married, and the husband of the wife brought 30 of Plishtim boys to come and participate in the wedding. Vayomelem Shimshon, and Shimshon said to these 30 Plishtim boys, Achud alchem chida, I'll give you a riddle. If you can give me the answer, then you're going to get a present from me. But if you can't give me the answer, then I want you to give me 30 bed linens and 30 new suits. So it's an exciting offer. The boys were very engaged and wanted to do it. So they said, we'll do it. Tell us the riddle. So he said to them, Meha ochel, from one that eats, yatsa ma'achal, food came out, ume'az, and from something strong, yatsa matok, something sweet came out. And they had to figure out what it was. Now, it's almost impossible to figure this out, because whenever is what in the world is this talking about? Something that eats, something strong, something that's strong, something came out of it that was sweet. So if you figure it out, excellent job. It's the honeycomb from the lion, but you figured it out most probably because you know the story. The Plishtim didn't know the story. They didn't know that Shimshon found a honeycomb in a dead lion. So how is it possible for them to figure it out? Hello? So the boys are not able to figure this out, and they decide, we're going to go to his wife, and we're going to tell her, if you don't give us the answer, if you don't find out from your hands the answer, we're going to destroy you and your father. So his wife started crying. You don't love me. You didn't tell me the answer to your riddle. And Shimshon says, I didn't even tell my parents the answer. Every single day she's crying to him and begging him to tell him the answer. Finally, the seventh day comes, and she put so much pressure on him, he told her the answer. So she went and told these Plishtim boys. So they said to Shimshon, they waited purposely till the very end, as if they couldn't figure it out till the very end, even though they knew the answer already. And they said, well, we were thinking and thinking about it. We thought, like, when you said something sweet, well, what could be sweeter than honey? That's the sweetest thing there is. And strong, when you saw the strong, what could be the strongest thing we can imagine? A lion. So must be a lion, a honeycomb that comes from a lion. That's the answer to your riddle. And Shimshon knew right away that his wife told them, If you didn't trick my wife, if you didn't get my wife to do it, then you would have never, to tell you the answer, you would have never figured it out. I can see right through you, you tricked me. What does Shimshon do in revenge of what they did to him? So the Spirit of Hashem comes on Shimshon, Vayered Ashkelon, and he goes down to Ashkelon, Vayach mehem shloshim ish, and he fights 30 different Plishtim. He hits 30 different Plishtim. Vayikach et chalitzotam, vayiten achalifot, and he took their clothing, lemakidi achida, and he gave it to the ones who gave him the riddle. And he said, here's your prize. You wanted 30 suits? I got you 30 suits. You got it in a cheating way? I gave it to you in a way that was also cheating. But that's midah keneged midah, measure for how you figured out the riddle. I took advantage of your own people to give you the prize of the riddle. Vayichar apo, he was very angry. Vayal beit avihu, and he went back to his house. Meanwhile, we're in the middle of a wedding, or finishing up a wedding, and the husband leaves. So naturally, you would expect that the wife would wait for him to come back until he settles down. That's not what she did. Vatihi eshet Shimshon lemirayehu asher ra'alo. She leaves Shimshon. She does not wait for him, and she goes to one of the 30 men that came to the wedding who did bad to Shimshon. She goes off with him, and as we'll see in the next perek, that did not sit well with Shimshon. That is only going to make him even angrier, and we'll see how he reacts to that in part 3. Stay tuned. Have a great night.